All right, on this video, I want to show you how to make a drop-down, pull-down list in your Excel spreadsheet. At least this is one way. We're going to use the method called data validation. So let's say on this spreadsheet in column F for the expense type, I want the expense type to either say breakfast, lunch, dinner, hotel, things like that. And I want the user to have a pull-down they can choose from. So the first step that you would do would be to highlight your range. And the range can be as big as you want it to be. I'm going to do this entire column. Then the next step that you do is you pick on the data menu and you pick on validation, right? And then data validation again. Okay, now there's three things that you want to supply here. The first thing is called settings, and this is the range of acceptable values for those cells. So I'm going to click on the pull down where it says allow any value. Now you can actually use the validation to only accept whole numbers in those cells or only accept decimal numbers, and there'll be another video that shows you those examples, or even only a date or a time. So we're going to do a list, and then you want to make sure it says in cell drop down over here, all right, and that's going to be the pull down for that cell. Now for the source, if your list of items is already on the spreadsheet somewhere, then you can highlight that right from here. Otherwise, you're going to type them in, and you're going to separate them with a comma, and you can have as many as you wanted to in there. So notice how I'm just typing them in, and they're separated with a comma. Okay, so let's say it's either going to be breakfast, lunch, dinner, hotel, taxi, or a train. So I'll click on input message. Now the input message is actually a prompt that will show up when somebody clicks in that cell. So usually I would give them some kind of directions. All right, so when they click on that cell, it's going to say, please pick one from the list. And I'll pick on error alert. Now, if they type in something that's not in the list, you want to give them some kind of error message. So I'll say something like, no, try again. Okay, so the settings are the range of acceptable values for those cells. To make it a pull down, you're going to say list here. Now you can either highlight a range that has your items already in there, or you can separate your items, each one with a comma. Then the input message is a prompt that the user is going to see when they go into that cell. And then the error message is what they get when they type in something different. Let's see how this is going to work. I'm going to click on OK. So notice when I click on one of those cells, it says, please pick one from the list. Remember, that was the input message. Notice how that cell does have a pull down. So I'm going to click on that. And now that list comes up. We can just pick one of those. And now that fills it in. So it kind of facilitates data entry if you think about it. Now the person doesn't have to type all that in. They can just pick it from the list. Now it'll even, let's say if they start to type, it'll finish it for them, as you can see. Now what if they typed in something different? Let's say I'm going to try to get reimbursed for gift items, or for golf. Let's go with golf. And it says no, try again. Remember, that was the error message. So not only does the data validation in this case give you a pull down, but it also validates the data and makes sure they're going to put in an acceptable value. At this point, I'll click on cancel, and I'll pick one that is on the list. All right, so that is how we make a pull down with our data validation.